CR&FC clinched the trophy after 26 years of striving. So Muaad, having a look at this week's top stories, I'm sure you have a lot of information brought to us. To start off with, CR&FC clinched the trophy after 26 years of striving.
Of course, it was a jam-packed Loughlin Place venue at CR&FC. They call it themselves the home of rugby, and of course, Loughlin Place was packed from all corners. Traffic was chock-a-blocked, and it was a 26-year-long wait finally fulfilled by the Red Shirts at their home venue. Kandy Sports Club had to be satisfied with the runners-up position after a decade of dominance since 2014. In fact, Kadhija, in the last 26 years, Kandy Sports Club has won 23 league titles. CR&FC in 2001, then of course Havelock Sports Club in 2012-13, and in 14-15, Navy Sports Club clinched the league championship. All the years except those 3 years have been Kandy and mighty Kandy have been dominant. However, CR&FC under 1998, their captain Champika Nishanta, they won the title last, and 96 under Champika Nishanta's brother Viraj Prasanna, they also clinched the championship in the league category. And after 26 years, here we are. I don't think both of us were born in 1998 January, when in the early parts of 98, when of course CR&FC clinched the championship, and of course more than half of the CR&FC team were not born when they last won the championship.
But were you present? Yes.
Yes. You were at the venue. Yes. How did you feel? How was I'm asking the questions from you, the interview.
For a change, yeah. It was wonderful. I mean, it was nice to see the celebration after the match. I mean, it was like a celebration that I've never seen in rugby.
The carnival atmosphere. I think, so Kadhija, in fact, it was the same in the 80s and 90s, where we talked to our good old supporters of the game, and of course players. They said that this is just a normal crowd in the 80s, 70s and 90s. It was the people who made rugby the loved sports. Like, it was a people's game. Everyone from the payment dweller to the company CEO, everyone flocked to CR&FC, Havelock Park and in Kandy to watch a good game of rugby. And of course, back at that time, police were dominant. The forces were playing really good rugby in the 80s and 90s. And of course, due to the war and many situations, the forces dropped back, and the police also had to take a back step. And of course, this was a crowd that Colombo had never seen after ages. So that was great to be back. And of course, kudos to CR&FC for opening the gates for everyone to come and watch. Now let's go back into the game and see what happened. It was 33 points to 25 at full time, and in fact at half time it was CR&FC who were Kandy who were leading in the half time, 13 points to 6. So Chaturu Seneviratne's 2 penalties putting CR in a 6-point position, whereas Kandy scoring a goal and 2 penalties through Tharindra Atwata's boot, who had a sublime game and ended up as the highest point scorer of the league. So Kandy was having a really great start in the first half. However, second half, CR came, they saw and they conquered. They just scored 5 tries in the second half to prove what a strong CR unit they are. The Red Shirts proved to be the champions.
Indeed, they did. So we'll have a look at the plate segment too.
And of course, yes, Police Sports Club, very unlucky to be playing in the plate segment. They were coming all guns blazing in the first round. They were tipped to be one of the strong contenders, even like CR&FC, who were known to be a nursery of talent with a lot of youngsters coming into the setup. This time around, Police Sports Club had a lot of young guns, especially Police, Ispatana, Wesley, and a lot of others, schoolboy talents coming straight into Police, especially Navin Kanishka, and from 2022, there were 4 Wesley boys playing, and Vihanga Randeep from St. Joseph's. A lot of fresh blood, which was never seen in Police in the recent past. However, they finished 5th place and won the plate championship with a big margin. And of course, in the plate segment, there were a lot of competition, and most of the plate segment players were in the top run of the highest try scorers. Iranta Pereira of Police, Lasanta Kumara and Ashan Bandara, the skipper of Army. So they had a lot of competition, but unfortunately Army missed out on that winning mantra. And of course, the Navy Sports Club had one of the most disastrous seasons this year. They could not get that, at least a win. and Air Force finishing also at the bottom, but they came back stronger to finish next to Police in the final round. And of course, again going back to CR&FC versus Kandy, the finals, Lasindu Karunatilaka also became one of the hot topics, the number 8 for CR&FC, scoring a lot of tries in the season. But what made the difference was that co-vice captain combination between Gamur Chetia and Murshid Dure. They were just all over the park, especially Murshid Dure becoming the Papare man of the match, proved what clear, sheer brilliance of vision is. He saw the gaps, he saw the crucial parts of the game which nobody ever saw in the field. He put on some great kicks for his team to run and chase and created great opportunities. And also a quick reminder about his late father as well. He was a great legend for CR and Sri Lanka, the late Zubair Dure, who played some really good rugby. He was known to be his flair and razzle and dazzle in the park. So Murshid Dure, of course, living up to the families and the father's expectations, and CR would be really proud of their young guns coming in and wearing the red shirts. Of course, they will be going into the next round, and hopefully they might play the knockouts. We have not got any confirmations from their end, and there are talks about the knockouts being played in Kandy as well. Nithavala, Kandy has requested the knockouts to be played at Nithavala, so a lot of happenings. And it was, if you were at CR&FC that day, that night, the party was going on way past 12 o'clock at the clubhouse. It was a warm reception. Of course, why not? It's a 26-year-long wait. And it was great to see both the Kandy and CR players mingling together after the match and sharing a cup of whatever their favorite beverage was, and of course sharing a nice meal and sitting in the old clubhouse pavilion of CR&FC. It's great to see, and of course the Kandy officials also staying back and mingling with the CR crowd. It was great. It's great to see a good old days of rugby back with real camaraderie and sportsmanship, whereas it was dwindling down, and of course crowds were dwindling down from the venues. It's great to see crowds back, and of course that good old spirit of rugby back. It's we hope and see that rugby will develop after a new champion is born, after many decades, and what we really want to see is crowds coming back to the grounds. And of course it has always been Kandy who has been a lot of crowd puller for the matches. We hope to see Colombo will finally go back to its 70s, 80s charm to see crowds coming back.